Hey, got confused about this weird behavior of JavaScript. So we did the same thing on both the sides. That is for our left hand side, we got different values. And in our right hand side, that is simply the objects case. Here we got the same value for both of our objects. So why this weird behavior? So this weird behavior of JavaScript is because of a concept that is simply pass by value and pass by reference. So without wasting any time further, let's start the video. So let's understand the pass by value first. And there is one more thing. Your pass by value simply works with primitive data types in JavaScript, and your pass by reference works with non-primitive data types. So, and if I talk about primitive data types, we simply have your string, number, boolean, undefined, null, symbol, and big int. So these are your primitive data types. And if I talk about pass by reference, so your pass by reference works with non-primitive data types. That is simply your objects, your arrays, your functions. So let me have few examples to explain you this concept. So first, so let's say we simply have A with some value, and let's say we also have B. So we simply give B equal to A, right? So now if I try to console log both A and B, simply the value of A will be 10 and B will also be 10. See, we got 10, 10. No issues, right? So let's say again, after this, we simply have A plus plus. So we incremented the value of A. So now if I try to do the same thing, so this time we got simply 11 for our A and simply 10 for our B. So till here, I don't think any of you might be having any issues, right? So let me take one more example, then I will explain the pass by value. So let's say instead of this, let's say we have simply x is equal to 5, and let's say we have y that is equal to x simply. Now let's say we have y that is equal to y plus 5 simply. And again, if I try to have both of their values, so now tell me, what would be the value of x and y? So this time, so simply 5 for our x and our y is 10. So now let me show you with a diagram what actually happened here in this case. So let's say this is the memory where you have x, and this is your memory where you have y. And for x, we simply have x that is equal to 5. So what we did, we simply have x5, that is fine. Then also we have this line. So when we did this, that is when we gave y equal to x simply, what would have happened? Let's say here we have y. So after the execution of this line, that is y is equal to x, this x value that is simply 5, this value, this would have been passed to y simply. So now your y would also be 5, as this value 5 passed from x to y. So x only gave its value 5 to y. After that, both of them will not have any connection. So again, so let's say further, if we would have incremented x, so that time our x would have become 6. Nothing to do with this y. as y is separately stored in the memory, or let's say our y value dot incremented by 5. So this time again, your y value would have simply become 10. Nothing to do with x. Both are separate. Only this value 5 has been passed to y simply. After that, they have nothing to do with each other. This concept is known as simply your pass by value. So now let's understand the pass by reference. So now, as you know, this pass by reference works with non-primitive. So let's take the example of object simply. So let's have one object. Let's say obj1 with simply name. Let's say we have the name as simply Virat and your age is simply, let's say 24 or 34 maybe. And let's say we have one more object that is simply your obj2. And this time again, we are doing the same thing as here we did. We had x and we gave y that is equal to x simply. So here also obj2 simply object2 equal to your object1. So till here we did the same thing. So now again let's say we want to change the name of our object2 simply. So that we will do simply obj2 dot name to change the name, and let's give it a new name. Let's say Rohit. So now if I try to console log both of them, let's say obj1 and again. So now what do you think? What would be the value? So this time we will simply have, so see, we got the same value for our object 1 and 2. So let me have this for clarification. So let's again have, see, both of the objects having the same name and the age. Although for object 1, we have the name as Virat. We gave the name of Rohit to object 2, but now both of your object is having the name simply Rohit and with the same age. So why this behavior? Previously we got different values for our pass by value concept. That is simply for this we got two different values, but here the same name. So let's again understand this thing with a diagram. So for now, simply assume that your objects and your variables are getting stored in the memory, right? So let's say this is your memory, and inside this memory you have your object 1, that is simply this obj1. So let's keep it inside the memory for now. And now when you did obj2 to simply obj1, so when this line will be executed, that is simply obj2 equal to obj1. So this time what actually happened is your obj2 will be pointing to this, the memory where you already have your object 1. Now object 2 also got the same reference or the address of this memory location where you have object 1. So now both of your objects are pointing to the same memory location. And now when you did this, when you change the name of object 2, so this time what happened? As both of your objects are pointing to the same memory, and when we did obj2 dot name equal to Rohit, so this time this name, that is your Virat, simply got changed to simply Rohit. And if you did simply the same thing with age, let's say 40. So this time again, see, the age also got changed as both of your object is pointing to the same memory location. So again, for your age, if you did this obj2.age, so that time again, your age 40, change the value of 30 simply. So this is how it works for your pass by reference. As previously, for your pass by value, we simply pass the value, that is 5. After that, both of them were not having any kind of connection. Both of them are separately stored. It only passed the value 5. After that, they had nothing to do with each other. But in this case, that is your non-primitive. Here we have a concept of pass by reference. So simply, the object 2 also got the reference of this. So here we can say your object 2 got the reference of memory location of simply your object 1. So that's why both of the objects got changed if we try to change any of them. So yes, that's it for this video. Hope you understood about the pass by value and pass by reference concept of JavaScript in a much better way. So see you all in the next one. Till then, take care.